Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Daniel. We're looking at Daniel chapter 2, where Daniel interprets the dream Nebuchadnezzar has had. Remember, he dreamed of this great statue, and it represented 4 kingdoms that would come upon the world. The Babylonian kingdom, the Persian kingdom, the Greek kingdom, and then finally the Roman Empire. And now today we're going to look at the last part of the dream. Nebuchadnezzar had seen the statue, and then he saw this great rock that crashed into the feet of the statue, completely destroying it. And so now Daniel gives the interpretation of this last part of the dream, which is the most important part. This is the point of the dream, and this is the point of what God is showing Nebuchadnezzar. Let's begin reading at verse 44. And we'll read verses 44 and 45. Now, in the time of those kings, says Daniel, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all those kingdoms, and it will bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. Now, this is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of a mountain, but not by human hands. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold to pieces. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true. Its interpretation is trustworthy. In Nebuchadnezzar's dream, he sees the coming of the kingdom of God. Now, he's seen that statue that represents 4 great earthly kingdoms, none of which will endure. None of them will endure. But there will be a rock, not cut by human hands. It's purely of divine origin. This rock will grow into a mountain that fills the earth. It will be a kingdom that will be eternal. Earthly kingdoms are temporary. They rise, they fall. But the kingdom of God is eternal. And when it comes, it will surpass all earthly kingdoms. They will be swept away until the kingdom of God is all in all. Now, it is clear that the kingdom will come, the kingdom of God that is, will come in the time of the 4th empire in Nebuchadnezzar's statue. That's the Roman Empire. When did Jesus come? Jesus came during the time of the Roman Empire. He came as the King of Kings and as the Lord of Lords. He came announcing that in him and in his ministry and in his presence, the kingdom of God had come. That's the rock. That's the rock made not with human hands. It is of divine origin. God entered the world in the person of Jesus, the Son, to establish the kingdom of God during the time of the Roman Empire, the 4th kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar's dream. And this kingdom of God is growing. And the day will come when every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. He is Lord. All earthly kingdoms will pass away, but the kingdom of God that came with the arrival of Jesus during the time of the Roman Empire, the kingdom of God will fill the earth, and it will be all. This, Daniel says to Nebuchadnezzar, is what God is going to do. Earthly kingdoms come and go, but his kingdom is coming. And when it comes, it will fill the earth with its glory. Almighty King Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel says, God, the true God, the great God, has shown the king what is going to happen. Now notice how Nebuchadnezzar responds to the interpretation of his dream. Verses 46 and following. King Nebuchadnezzar fell prostrate before Daniel. He paid him honor in order that an offering and incense be presented to him. And the king said to Daniel, surely your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings. He is a revealer of mysteries, for you were able to reveal this mystery. So Nebuchadnezzar recognizes that the God of Daniel, the God of Israel, is the God of gods and the King of kings. Now some might ask, was Nebuchadnezzar converted at this point? Probably not, because we're going to see in chapter 3 he immediately builds an idol. But at least at this point he recognizes that the God of Israel, the God that Daniel worships is truly God. He is over all. Only this God can reveal such mysteries. So he recognizes the superiority of Daniel's God, even if it's not truly a conversion. And I don't believe it's a conversion because of what he's going to do in chapter 3. But he is led to recognize that the God of Israel, the God of Daniel, is the great God. He is, as Nebuchadnezzar says, the God of gods and the Lord of all kings. And the chapter ends by Daniel being elevated. The king places Daniel, it says in verse 48, in a high position. He lavished many gifts on him. He made him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and placed him in charge of all the wise men. He also appointed Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to places of honor and administration. So he recognizes their value to him because the God they worship is truly, truly God. Hope you join us next time as we continue our study, our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Daniel.